There is a strange silence, the one that follows after she pulls away. No texts, no calls, no reactions. It feels like you've been erased. But what if I told you that silence isn't the end? What if I told you it's an invitation to finally meet yourself? When a woman pulls back, most men panic. They assume they've been forgotten, so they start reaching harder. They fill the silence with explanations, with proofs, with their own emotional chaos. But the man who understands, he does the opposite. He doesn't chase the noise, he masters the pause. He understands a fundamental law of the universe. You don't attract what you chase, you attract what you are. Silence isn't the end of attraction, it is the test of it. It's the space where curiosity turns into fixation, where absence becomes the loudest voice she'll ever hear. Because when you master silence, you become unexplainable, and the human mind cannot stop thinking about what it cannot explain. This video is not about tactics, it's about a shift in consciousness. We're not going to learn how to get her, we're going to discover how to become the man she can't forget. We will walk through 7 layers of this transformation, from understanding the trap of silence to becoming the center of your own universe. Before we begin that journey, if you feel connected to this message, help spread it. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you're not just joining this conversation, you're helping other men find it. And please, hit the like button to let me know we're on the right track. This is your journey from reaction to mastery. Layer 1. The Trap of the Void. Her silence opens up a space. Most men call this space rejection. They feel it as a pit in their chest, a hollowness. And what is our first instinct when faced with a void? We try to fill it. We fill it with, "Are you okay?" texts. We fill it with excuses. We fill it with anger. We fill it with our desperate presence, hoping that if we just yell loud enough into the void, it will answer back. But here is the first truth. You are not afraid of her silence. You are afraid of the emptiness inside you that her silence exposes. I remember being there. I'd sent what I thought was the perfect text. I saw the read receipt. And then, nothing. An hour went by. It felt like a day. 2 hours. My heart started to race. My entire worth was suddenly hanging on her response. I wasn't a man anymore. I was a question waiting to be answered. I filled the void. I sent another text. Just making sure you got that. And the second I hit send, I knew I had lost. I didn't lose to her. I lost to myself. I had proven that my peace was in her hands. Psychology calls this the need for closure. Our brains crave answers. They hate unfinished stories. Her silence is an open loop, and your anxiety is your brain's desperate attempt to close it. But the man who begins the journey of awakening realizes that closure never comes from the outside. The moment you stop trying to fill her void is the moment you get the chance to fill your own. Her silence is not a weapon pointed at you. It is a mirror held up to you. And the question that mirror asks is, without her validation, who are you? Layer 2. The Myth of the Chase. The Moth and the Flame. Since we were boys, we were taught a false fairy tale. That love is a pursuit. That we must fight for it. That persistence wins. But we confuse persistence with desperation. When you chase, what are you saying energetically? You're saying, "You are running, I am following." You're saying, "You are the prize, I am the beggar." You're saying, "My value is less than yours, so I must work to catch up." You become the moth, frantically drawn to the flame. You think you're seeking light, but all you're doing is burning yourself alive for its attention. Psychology calls this reactance theory. When a person feels their freedom of choice is threatened by your pursuit, they will instinctively pull back to protect their autonomy. Your pursuit, biologically, forces her to withdraw. The flame does nothing. It simply burns. It simply is. The moth is drawn to its very existence. The flame does not chase the moth. The journey of a man is not to become a better chaser. It is to stop being the moth and become the flame. I used to live as a moth. I thought grand gestures, long emotional texts were the way to prove love. I wrote letters. I explained my feelings for hours, and every single time I felt depleted because I was giving my power away. I was trying to convince her I was worthy, instead of simply being worthy. The challenge here is a complete inversion. You must be willing to lose her to keep yourself. You must value your own peace more than her attention. Every time you pick up that phone to send that, "Why are you being quiet?" text, stop. Ask yourself this one question. What am I really seeking? Her? Or a release from my own discomfort? Her silence is your golden opportunity to break the pattern, to refuse to play the moth, to begin building your own fire. Layer 3. The law of emotional gravity, the sun. Now we come to the core principle. Let's call it the law of emotional gravity. It's simple. You do not attract what you want. You do not attract what you chase. You attract what you are. And what you are is determined by your internal mass. In physics, gravity is a function of mass. An object with immense mass, like the sun, pulls planets into its orbit. The planets don't try to fly into the sun. They are pulled in by its inescapable gravity. Most men have no internal mass. They are like little asteroids, floating in space, pulled into whatever orbit of whoever gives them attention. They get their value from their job, from their money, and most dangerously, from a woman's validation. When she pulls away, their orbit vanishes, and they drift in panic. Your job is not to pull her back. Your job is to build your mass. And what is your internal mass? It is your purpose. It is your mission. It is the reason you are on this planet that has nothing to do with anyone else. It's your physical health. It's your mental growth. It's your internal peace. My father was a woodworker. He was the quietest man I knew. But when he was in his shop, he had an almost meditative focus. He never rushed. He never tried to impress. He simply created. People, they were just drawn to him. They'd come to the shop just to watch him work, to be in his presence. My father had mass. His purpose created gravity. When she pulls back, the universe is giving you a gift. It's saying, stop being a planet orbiting her. Start building your own sun. Go to the gym. Read that book. Start that project. Learn that skill. Do it not to show her. Do it to build you. The challenge is this. She didn't pull back because you did something wrong. She pulled back because she felt no gravity. There was no center in you for her to orbit. Your question of self-reflection is, if she never comes back, what is my mission starting tomorrow? The answer to that is where you start building your mass. Layer 4. The alchemist's fire, turning lead into gold. Her silence is not just a void. It's a furnace. It's a fire. And you have two choices. You can be the firewood, consumed by the flame, turned into the ash of anxiety, or you can be the alchemist. In ancient alchemy, the goal was to turn lead, a base metal, into gold, a noble metal. This process required an immense, unbearable heat. The pain you feel from her silence, the discomfort, the rejection, the loneliness, that is lead. It is the base, heavy, unrefined part of your ego. Most men run from that heat. They check their phones, they scroll social media, they go out and find a distraction. They do anything to not feel the lead. The alchemist is different. He steps into the furnace. He sits with the discomfort. He observes his pain without becoming it. He uses the very heat of the rejection to burn away what is unnecessary. That heat burns away your need for approval. It burns away your fear of being alone. It burns away the fragile ego that needs external validation. A friend of mine went through a terrible breakup. He was devastated. He was led. He could have become bitter or jumped into another relationship. Instead, he did one thing. He started running. Every morning, he ran until he couldn't run anymore. He said he was outrunning his demons. 6 months later, he wasn't just in different shape. He was a different man. He was calm. He was focused. He was whole. He stepped into the furnace and turned his lead into gold. Her silence is a gift. It is the perfect purifying fire to burn away every part of you that isn't truly you. Don't run from it. Breathe it in. Ask yourself, what lead in me is this fire burning away? My neediness? My fear of abandonment? My fragile ego? When you come out of that fire, you don't just look different. You resonate different. Layer 5. The sacred mirror, the healing reflection. When you stop reacting to her silence, when you begin to build your mass and step into the furnace, a miracle happens. You become a mirror. Before, when she was chaotic, you were chaotic. When she pulled back, you pushed forward. You were a predictable reaction. But now, you are different. You are calm. You are solid. You are focused. You become a still lake. And when she, in her own chaos or confusion, looks back toward you, she no longer sees your reaction. She sees a reflection of her own self in your peace. This is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. Your peace doesn't judge her. It just is. And its very existence highlights her turmoil. She begins to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Why does he seem okay? Maybe the problem isn't him. Maybe it's me. Your peace becomes her teacher. Your job is not to calm
her storm. Your job is to be the peace in the storm, to become the lighthouse. The lighthouse doesn't run down the coastline searching for ships. It just stands. It just shines. And the ships find their own way to it. I learned this in fatherhood. My son would be screaming, angry. My instinct was to scream back, "Don't you be disrespectful." Chaos meeting chaos. It never worked. One day I just sat on the floor. I breathed. I looked at him with peace. He screamed. I breathed. Slowly, his storm subsided. He came and sat in my lap. My peace was the mirror. It was the sanctuary. Your peace becomes the same. It becomes a sanctuary that she, subconsciously, begins to crave. She doesn't remember your words. She remembers the feeling of your presence. And if that presence is peace, it becomes the standard against which every other interaction is measured. Your question of self-reflection is, can you look at her silence, her confusion, and just feel compassion for her and for yourself, without the need to fix it? Layer 6, the canyon echo, the resonance. As you build your mass and become the peaceful mirror, your energy changes. Before, your energy was a scream. "Look at me, validate me." It was desperate and loud. Now your energy is a hum. Imagine you're in a great canyon. Your scream echoes chaotically, but a single pure note, hummed, it resonates. It fills the entire space with a clear frequency. Your purposeful peace is that hum. You don't have to send a text. Your being is the message. In Eastern traditions, there's a concept called darshan. People would travel thousands of miles just to sit in the presence of an enlightened master. The master didn't have to say anything. Just by being in their energy field, the student's own energy would begin to attune. This is what happens at a distance. She feels your change. She feels that you no longer need her. She feels that your focus is elsewhere. It's not logical. It's intuitive. Our nervous systems are wired to feel the states of others. It's why anxiety is contagious. And it's why peace is, too. Your new peace becomes an echo. She'll find herself thinking of you at odd times. She'll wonder what you're doing. Not because you did something mysterious, but because your frequency has changed, and it has created a void in her energy field where your anxiety used to be. The challenge here is to trust the echo. To trust that your internal work is broadcasting a signal far more powerful than any words. You are no longer a scream demanding attention. You are the hum of centeredness. And that resonance, that's what pulls her back. Not her, physically, but her attention, her curiosity. Your question of self-reflection is, what is the energetic signature I am broadcasting right now? Is it need or wholeness?
Layer 7, the return to self, the source. And this brings us to the final layer, the final truth of the journey. You started with a question, how do I get her back? You've walked through 7 layers. You faced the void. You stopped being the moth. You built your mass. You entered the alchemist's fire. You became the mirror. You created the echo. And one day, you wake up. You pick up your phone. You see that she texted. Or maybe you see that she still hasn't. And you realize something incredible. It doesn't matter anymore. Not from a place of bitterness. Not from a place of ego. From a place of fullness. The peace you fought to build, it has become more precious than her validation. The purpose you uncovered, it has become more compelling than her attention. You realize the great truth. The goal was never to get her back. The goal was always to get you back. Back to who you were before you knew her name. back to the man you will be long after she is gone. You stopped being a wave, desperately trying to reach the shore. You realized you are the ocean. This is the victory. This is freedom. And the final irony of the universe is this. The moment you truly reach the state of no longer needing her to return is the exact moment your gravity becomes the most powerful, because you have become the flame. You have become the sun. You have become the lighthouse. You have become the peace that the entire world, including her, is desperately searching for. You have returned to the source, and the man who has found his source never has to chase anything again. Everything comes to him. The practice, the anchor of stillness. I want to leave you with a practice, not just a thought, an action. Call it the anchor of stillness. The next time you feel that panic rise, the urge to check the phone, to fill the void, stop. Don't try to stop the thoughts, just watch them. Now, find an anchor. It can be the feeling of your feet on the floor. It can be the feeling of the air coming in and out of your nose. It can be a spot on the wall across from you. Put all of your attention on that anchor. The thoughts will come. What is she doing? Does she still care? Let them come. See them as clouds passing through the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. Just gently bring your attention back to the anchor, back to your breath, back to the floor. Do this for 60 seconds. Every time you do this, you are rewiring your brain. You are teaching it that you are not a slave to your fleeting emotions. You are teaching it that you are the master, that you have a place to return to, a place of peace, no matter what storm is happening outside. This is how you build your mass, one breath at a time. This is how you become the alchemist, one moment at a time. This isn't just about relationships. This is about your life. Live a life of meaning. Live a life of purpose, and the rest will simply be pulled into your orbit.